I wanted to write about my journaling habits for a while, and this is one of those first really small introductory videos on sharing with all of you on how I've journaled. Basically, journaling means nothing but basically writing your diary. So, how do I write every day as a personal reflection? What kind of importance it has had for me in my life, and why do I recommend it as the number one tool for self reflection and self improvement? I mean, over the years, I've read many books, but one of the most influential book in this regard has been Marcus Aurelius, his book Meditations. If for those who don't know, Marcus Aurelius was one of the very influential Roman emperors, and Meditations actually is the book which is his personal journal of his thoughts, what he was going through, how he was alone, what kind of challenges he faced, what kind of mindset he was going through, and how he overcome those things. So all of that he kept recording in his journal, and many years later, those journals were printed by in form of a book. I read this book over a decade ago, and then after a couple of reads, I think I bought this copy, the one you see. This is actually bought in 2020. This book had an immense impact on my perspective about writing. During my travels, I started traveling around 2010 era. I used to write using my tablet during my flights, and I just used to record my thoughts. When I go back, even during my college days, I used to do a little bit of writing in my diary and writing my thoughts. But this became very particular when I read Marcus Aurelius's book, identifying and seeing what kind of trials and tribulations the guy went through, even though he was one of the most influential and powerful emperors, had a immense impact on the way I thought about life, and how I thought about solving some of the challenges and what's happening in our head and creating mental clarity for ourselves. That's where I started taking journaling very seriously, and then I realized that I could use this one to reflect on what I am doing, and kind of use this as a bouncing board for myself. Number two, to use it as an offloading place where things which are bothering me, things and situations which are hurting me, I can offload those on a piece of paper, and be absolutely brutally honest with myself. And third is to clarify or clear my head. A lot of times, even today, I have contractors working at home. I have to take care of several things at home, and then from a work perspective, there are several things going on. So sometimes just sitting down with a journal and to clear your head and see, are you doing the right things, makes an immense difference, to kind of reset your heading. So journaling is an extremely powerful tool in our arsenal. I think it's just a matter of time that one realizes and starts investing some time in it. How do I journal? I started journaling in a couple of ways. One, like I said, initially I started doing a lot of digital writing. So using my tablet and my keyboard and basically write in that form. I would occasionally move over to the analog writing form, and I've always seen analog form, while if your mind is racing, the analog forms feels very limiting in comparison, but it is also the most effective because it really is that hand to mind and body connection that comes alive really when you're writing with your hand, and you're crafting each word, and things like that. So I've flip-flopped between the two. Most recently I've been completely analog, not writing anything digitally, completely following an analog pattern. So I know I mentioned that this is introductory video on what I've been doing and what kind of importance it has in my life. But I want to make sure that this is actionable for all of you who are listening. So a very simple 101 on how I journal or what I write about. A lot of people have asked me that what do you really write about? I mean, if there are 5 6 pages you've been writing, what do you write about? So One very simple and easy thing to start doing is, if you're really, you feel like there's too much going on, is to use it as a bulleted list of unloading everything what is on your mind. So I would basically do a you know simple list of things which are running on my head. For example, today I have to do 5 different stores and I have to go make those returns. Then I have to sit down and write a couple of important emails before the year ends. So I'll make a huge long laundry list, doesn't matter in which order, which priority. I'll basically use my journal to offload. The other thing which you could also do is just write about, you don't have to write moments or minute by minute account, but you could thematically write about how your day went or how your week went. That's a great point or place to start, getting your feet wet, or get yourself in the habit of writing. Okay, folks, that was it. This was an introductory video I want to make on, how important journaling has been for me and how I journal. If I see that, there are questions and, there is reception to this video, I have several things to share on how to journal, which are some of the top prompts I have used, what duration of journaling is recommended, what formats of journaling, what are the mind body connections which are involved while we journal, and things like that. So there are several aspects of journaling which I would love to share, but let's see how the response is for this video. But thank you so much.